At first, AI helps us work faster and more efficiently. Over time, it may begin to change what we consider normal, not through dramatic announcements or visible disruptions, but through gradual adjustments in expectations, standards, and performance benchmarks. When automated systems become embedded in daily processes, they don't just optimize outcomes, they quietly redefine them. Every system that measures performance sets a baseline. If a company introduces AI assisted customer support and reduces response times from hours to minutes, the new response time quickly becomes the standard. What once felt fast becomes average. This shift happens subtly. The improvement is welcomed, but once established, it changes what customers expect and what employees are evaluated against. AI doesn't just improve performance, it recalibrates it. The same dynamic appears in productivity tools. When AI systems can summarize documents, draft emails, or generate code quickly, output increases. Tasks that once required extended effort become easier to complete. Over time, higher output can become the expectation rather than the exception. Managers may not explicitly demand more, but benchmarks shift. The definition of normal workload adjusts to reflect what automation makes possible. Efficiency becomes embedded in standards. You can see this in software development. AI-assisted coding tools accelerate routine programming tasks. Developers can produce working prototypes more quickly. As these tools spread, timelines compress. The pace of iteration increases. The baseline for what counts as a reasonable development cycle shortens, not necessarily because humans changed, but because the tools did. Performance norms evolve alongside capability. A similar pattern is visible in content production. Automated editing, captioning, and recommendation systems allow creators to publish more frequently and optimize distribution more precisely. As output scales, audience expectations adapt. More frequent updates become normal. Higher production quality becomes standard. The presence of automation shapes what is considered competitive. A common counterargument is that rising standards are a natural outcome of progress. When technology improves, expectations increase. This has always been true. Industrialization changed productivity norms. Digital tools changed communication speed. From this perspective, AI-driven normalization is simply the next phase. There is merit in this view. Higher standards can lead to better services, safer systems, and broader access to information. But normalization also has side effects. One effect is pressure. When automated systems raise benchmarks, individuals and organizations may feel compelled to keep pace. If predictive analytics enables real-time pricing adjustments, companies that rely on slower methods may appear inefficient. If AI-driven diagnostics increase detection rates, providers without similar tools may seem less capable, even if their expertise remains strong. Standards become tied to tool adoption. There is also the issue of visibility. Once metrics are tracked and optimized continuously, deviations from new norms become more noticeable. A delay that would have been acceptable previously may now be flagged as underperformance. Automation does not create this visibility alone, but it amplifies it. The measurable becomes the manageable, and eventually the expected. Another dimension is behavioral. When automated systems recommend actions, whether in hiring, lending, or resource allocation, they can influence collective patterns. If a screening model favors certain qualifications, those qualifications gain prominence. If recommendation systems promote specific content formats, creators adapt to those formats. Over time, what is optimized becomes what is common. The system's preferences begin to shape norms. This does not imply that AI imposes standards intentionally. In most cases, normalization emerges from feedback loops. Tools improve performance. Performance becomes measurable. Measurement informs expectations. Expectations shape behavior. The cycle repeats. Because AI systems operate at scale, these feedback loops can spread quickly across industries. There are also countervailing forces. Organizations can choose to moderate expectations. Regulators can intervene when automation creates excessive pressure or inequity. Individuals can resist adopting new baselines uncritically. Normalization is not automatic or irreversible, but it is powerful when unexamined. Understanding this shift is important because it changes how we evaluate progress. It is easy to focus on whether AI makes tasks easier or faster. It is harder to ask how those improvements redefine what counts as acceptable performance. When efficiency becomes normal, slack disappears. When prediction becomes standard, uncertainty feels less tolerable. The boundaries of good enough move. This can bring benefits. Higher accuracy in medical diagnostics can improve patient outcomes. Faster fraud detection can reduce financial harm. More responsive logistics can increase reliability. But rising standards can also narrow tolerance for variation and reduce flexibility. What was once considered sufficient may no longer qualify. As AI continues to integrate into everyday systems, the question is not only what it can do, it is how its capabilities reshape expectations. Normal is not fixed, it is socially constructed, often through technology. When automated systems define benchmarks, they influence that construction. Recognizing this does not require rejecting automation. It requires awareness. Progress changes standards. Standards influence behavior. Behavior reshapes systems. In the age of AI, these cycles may move faster. And understanding how normal evolves may matter as much as understanding the technology itself.